What's up everybody, Brody here from Sew Yeah Quilting. Welcome back to our channel. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make this super easy mix and match quilt using just two 5-inch square packs. The fabric line that we're going to be using during the tutorial is called Goose Tails by Riley Blake. All of the pre-cuts that you see here, along with the coordinates, are on our website. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can go ahead and get on there, check it out, and see what you think. Before we jump into the project, I just want to remind you about our Saturday night Destash and our Tuesday night Newstash, 6 p.m. on both those evenings, Pacific time. We have the best deals going on with the newest fabrics. Make sure you check it out on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Now, let's jump right in. So the construction of this quilt is super easy. I've already opened up my 5-inch square packs, and I'm ready to start sewing. Okay? You don't have to do any cutting at this point. It's already pre-cut into the 5-inch squares. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to put together 9 different 9-patch blocks. So you're going to open up your pack and you're basically going to lay out just 3 different rows of 3, and you want to make sure that you don't have 2 of the same print next to each other. So I'm going to start laying these out, and again you're going to do this 9 different times. I'm going to lay these out like this. And then what we're going to do is basically just sew them together in rows. Just like this. I always try to make it so where there's not multiple of the same colors next to each other. So as you can see here, I'm a little bit out of the camera frame. Let me just move these up. As you can see here, I don't have like 2 blacks next to each other or 2 grays next to each other or anything like that. Obviously, since you're using so many different colors in your charm pack, just do the best you can to make them all random. So I'm going to take this now that I have it set up. That's pretty much the entire construction of it, and then we're going to go through and cut after we sew this together. And you're going to sew 9 of these different blocks together. So I'm going to jump in right now, start sewing. So I just sewed the first 2 squares together. I'm going to grab the next one and just finish up the first row of 3. Okay, first simple row is done. Going to my next row here. Open this one up, pop my 3rd square on there. This is a great project if you're doing you want just a really easy quilt to do at a retreat, or you want to go hang out with your girlfriends and sew a quick quilt. This one's awesome for that. A lot of just straight sewing, nothing crazy. So good quilt for that. Second row is finished. Going to my 3rd row here. Now, putting my last block, or excuse me, last square on my 3rd row. Alright, first 3 rows are done. Now I'm just going to take these, iron them open, and then sew them to each other and make a 9-patch. Be right back. I've got all 3 of my pieces ironed. Now I'm just going to take the first one, set it down, grab the center one, lay it right on top of each other, sew a 1/4 inch seam right down one side. Alright, first 2 rows are sewn together. Now I'm going to grab my 3rd one here, lay it down right on top, sew a 1/4 inch seam. We're done with our first block, and we're going to repeat this process 9 times. Alright, first block's done, let's keep going. now that I have my nine patches put together, what I'm going to do is cut them exactly in half, but on the diagonal both directions. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm gonna lay one of them down right here. I'm gonna put it to where it's kind of like a diamond shape in front of me. I'm gonna grab one of my long rulers, and literally you're just going to match up your corner on top, match your corner on the bottom, and cut right down the center, okay? So get these lined up nice and right. Just like that. Hold down a little bit of pressure. Nice and easy, right in half. Now what you're going to do, you can do it two ways. You can just try to turn the whole thing and do it down both, or you can do them one at a time. I'm going to do them both at the same time. I'm going to turn this thing around like this. Lay it out, make sure you're right on the same point that you were before. Right lined up. And you're going to cut this in half the other direction again. So, lining this up right on my corners. Make sure you're exact. Grab your rotary cutter. Cut it right in half. Okay, so at this point you should have random triangle blocks here. Okay, just like this. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to clean this up a little bit, show you how to put all these together. So I have a stack of my triangle blocks here, and what I'm going to do is basically mix them up and put them together randomly. So I'm going to take one of my triangles, another one, you're obviously going to put them into a square, just like this, and match it out. I'm actually, since this one right here, you can see there's two oranges in the middle, I'm actually going to switch these like that. Again, it's all random, so do whatever it is you like, whatever you think looks the best, just like this, okay? Now I'm going to take two of these, put them right sides together, and sew a 1/4 inch seam down one side. All right, I got my first two sewn together. So it's gonna be half a square. I'm gonna grab my next two, put them right sides together. Do the exact same thing. 1/4 inch seam right down one side. All right, finished my two halves here. Now what I'm going to do, open it up, take both of these, put them right sides together, and sew them together. I'm gonna iron it first just to make sure my seams look good, and then we'll start sewing. So I've got both of my triangles here, right sides together, and now I'm just gonna sew a 1/4 inch seam down the one side. Again, very easy quilt to make. It's a great one to just throw together or do with a loved one that doesn't really know how to sew as well, because they can mix and match anything and the colors all go together. Just like that, our block's done, okay? Turns out to a really cool block. And now what I'm gonna do, as you can see, there's sashing between these. I'm gonna go ahead and put some sashings on, obviously finish making my blocks, put some sashings on, and then put the rows together and show you how to do that, okay? I'll be right back. So I've got my squares done, and I've got my sashing pieces ready. What I've done is I've just sewn two blocks together, and got my sashing on each of these. I'm gonna sew on my third block to finish what is my top row. So I'm gonna lay this down on top. I'm gonna sew a 1/4 inch seam, and then our first entire row will be finished, minus the sashing that's gonna go all the way around. All right guys, so I just finished my top row here. Came out exactly how we wanted it. What I'm gonna do is repeat this process 3 times to be able to put together the quilt behind me. I'll hold that up right here at the end and show you exactly what it looks like. I just finished the quilt top. It turned out awesome. Let me show you what it looks like. Just like this. Now I'm gonna run this across the building to our in-house long armor to have it quilted and finished. Like always, if you've liked this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Don't forget about our Saturday night Destash and our Tuesday Newstash every Saturday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, for all of the greatest deals, newest products, and a lot of fun. We're gonna put instructions on how to make this quilt, along with the pre-cuts for this exact line, in the description below. My name is Brody, teaching you how to sew like a pro. We'll see you next week at Sew Yeah Quilting.